Good morning, everyone. It is just what a terrific weekend we have here at Santa Anita. It started yesterday with a homeboy, Hot Rod Charlie, throwing in one of the most spectacular races I've seen. It was a great Belmont yesterday, Chappie.
Yeah, it was incredible. And hats off to Essential Quality. And Hot Rod Charlie took all the heat early and battled. And I think they were like 11 3/4 clear of the third place finisher, Rombauer. So very, very impressive performance. Amazing that those two ran 1-2 in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile and then come back to run in the Belmont 1-2. And hopefully this will be a heck of a year going forward. And these two will stay sound because it was a battle.
Hey, I heard in the history of the Belmont Stakes, it was the fastest splits ever early on. Nobody ever ran faster the quarter mile, the half mile, and somehow he still survived and was there fighting all the way, just showing all kinds of heart. And it was just I know Essential Quality won, but in my eyes, what a great race Hot Rod Charlie threw in.
Well, let's bring in Iggy for a second. I mean, anyone who knows any more than that is a jockey. So, Iggy, your thoughts on that and the incredible performance yesterday?
Honestly, watching it at home, even after the first half mile, I thought both of the guys had just timed the race wrong, for going that distance. I just thought this is going, I don't know who is going to win now. And it just proved, how good those horses up. Because, they were battling. It's not like these are two exhausted horses and one charging at them late. They were kept their pace away from the rest of their horses at such a vicious pace. It was super exciting to watch. And I thought just a huge performance from both horses.
There's some guys saying, Iggy, that
that's quick for that first quarter.
Yeah, that's a mile and a half.
Sprinting,
unbelievable.
Going a mile and a half for three for the first time is very quick.
I mean, Pratt usually always has him in a good position, but on Twitter, a lot of people are saying that maybe Pratt has a little bit of blame. Do you think Pratt has a little bit of blame or not really?
Both horses were pressing basically the same pace. I don't think so. It just maybe if they could have swapped positions and one been inside and outside, I think it might have been different. But nothing to pick apart Flavian Pratt in nowadays is insane. That guy is riding it better than anybody in the entire world. So
George, I think he.
They always try and find something, but I couldn't pick apart nobody. Right? Everybody did. I don't know. To me, pretty fantastic.
I think he hit the nail on the head there, Georgie, because Rock Your World broke a little slow again. So he went, and once you go and you're on the inside of two other horses, you're almost forced to go. You can't take back, or you're going to lose all that momentum. So I think at that point it was do or die, and he ran a hell of a race.
Gavin, what were your thoughts on the Belmont Stakes yesterday?
Off the first half, I thought both Hot Rod Charlie and Rock Your World were going to be running last. I looked at my friend. I said, "These two horses that's going to be last and second to last right there." I thought no chance. Hot Rod Charlie held on, and I thought the same thing when Rock Your World broke bad. I'm like, oh man. And at the beginning, I thought Hot Rod Charlie, but I kind of noticed at the beginning, I'm like, man, they're going fast. Then when they hit the court, I'm like, oh, they're going way fast, a lot faster than I expected them to be going. So when I hit the half, I'm like, oh, these two horses are going to be last. And then when there was no one clear to Essential Quality, I figured Hot Rod Charlie, he's going to get beat by 3 or 4 lengths. For him to hold on like he did, it's crazy to say, but I found a lot of people seemed like they were more impressed with Hot Rod Charlie. I mean, if you didn't watch the race and you just went on Twitter, you would have thought Hot Rod Charlie won.
Right.
How many people were talking about how impressive his race was. So it was, I saw so many people were talking about his second place, and I'm like, man, if you didn't watch the race and you just went on there, you might have thought he won it,
George and I last night did a seminar for today, and we had to remind ourselves to congratulate the winner because we kept talking about the amazing run of Hot Rod Charlie, who finished second. You almost feel like you're sliding the horse who just won the Belmont,
Almost nobody was talking about Essential Quality.
Yeah. First text I got was from my friend. He goes, damn, Hot Rod Charlie ran a race right there. I'm like, it's so funny. Like, we're just laughing. I'm like, it's classic.
Yeah.
I look forward to seeing where Hot Rod Charlie goes from here.
Yeah, well, that was yesterday. Today is today. We've got one of my favorite days because it's been a mandatory payout on the pick six. And if you bet with ExpressBet, we got the ExpressBet liaison, the expert here, Tyler. Come on up here. What we got something special going on, Tyler, in the pick six today. If you bet with ExpressBet, talk to us about it.
Hi, guys. So just check it out on either ExpressBet or FirstBet on the promotions page. It has all the terms and conditions. But if you wager $10 or more on the mandatory payout today at Santa Anita Park, you will get $10 back into your account by Tuesday. If you bet less than $10, you will get what you wagered back. So it's a great promotion. It's a great way to take a stab at it. Why not have some fun? If you're playing on ExpressBet, make sure to opt in. If you're playing on FirstBet, there's no need to opt in. You can just go ahead and play and make sure that promotion gets in there. All right.
We had fun with Abel Cedillo yesterday, doing all kinds of first bet stuff. Chappie, it was funny because he had all the first bet silks on, and he was like, "I don't bet, but if I bet ExpressBet." It's a great. I love it. He's funny.
He's a good guy. He's very funny. Yeah, and you guys had a lot of fun with him.
Chappie, I'm gonna bet maybe a little bit more than $10 on the mandatory pick six. How about you?
Yeah, I figure if I bet 1,000 and I lose, I'll get 900. It'll only be $990 loss. So I'm winning already, George.
At least it's enough for McDonald's.
$10 is for that 20-cent increment. That's a lot of coverage. $10.
It is. It really is.
Yeah. It really is. Yeah.
All right, we're going to get some coverage here on the races and get the thoughts of our two handicappers. We're into the third and final Charity First Handicapping Challenge. And this one is, we're only starting with 8 people, so it's a reduced field. We only have a couple of weeks left in our meet. So whoever one of you two guys wins, we'll be right back next week. And then if you win the next one, you won. That's it. It's like you win 3 times and you win the championship. So let's see what our handicappers can come up with. Gavin, I love your grandfather. I say that every time. I'll never get tired of saying it. I love Tommy. One of my favorite gentlemen in the sport, and me and you are becoming fast friends as well. You got that wonderful restaurant that Tyler, who just talked, ate at your restaurant, and he says he's amazed that he got any food at all because you were betting the whole time, you were betting and then flipping over like hash browns and then betting and getting the thing ready. Man, you're a diehard player after our hearts. Good, welcome to the show.
How's it going, guys? Yeah, I thought Tyler was gonna report me to the boss, but my boss is my mom, so I probably would have been okay. She was probably doing the same thing. Yeah, we one of us has some bet on or some race on, usually almost all the time. So, and all of our customers know it, so we'll have the iPad out watching the races, and they're probably out front right now watching some of the races. So it's kind of how it always is around here.
Well, if you're at Mission Viejo, I suggest you guys stop by Paul's place and have something to eat, and it's a Paul's Pantry, and have something to eat. It's really fantastic. We are lucky to be represented here at the Strana Group at Santa Anita by Iggy. Chappie, introduce your guest.
Yeah, Iggy, for some reason that background today, he's got like a little fog over it. It looks like old school. So Iggy, if you're watching Arnold Palmer in the 1968 Masters, turn that off, and it's time to pick some winners. How's the back doing, Iggy? And there's
good. We're still doing physical therapy, and it was some issues in the front because they did the surgery through the front. So I'm getting stronger in the abs, but the back's recovering, doing well, man. I got another doctor's appointment in a couple of weeks, and they usually take a picture and tell me how the update is. But it feels swell for what's in there. It feels good.
That's good to hear, and hopefully you're strong enough to take down Gavin today. So, Georgie, let's get it rolling, buddy.
Let's get it rolling. One of my favorite movies is called Frequency, and look at Iggy's got that 1970 shirt on. I feel like calling him. Who's going to win? Are the Mets? Did they win the 69? Did they win the 69 series? Look at that. He's got a 70 shirt. It's like just like the movie Frequency.
All right, with Iggy.
We're gonna Gavin. We're gonna beat up Iggy with Frequency today. That's right, baby. We're taking him down. We love him, but he's going down. All right, so we're going to start. You got $100 to win. Let's try to raise money for our great charity, Karma. Who are you going with and why?
My $100 win bet, it's race 1, the 7-horse Goliad. I like that horse. It's coming off a layoff. Richard Mandel is pretty good off layoffs. The horse is working real good and dropping class for him. He's got smooth like straight in the running lines with him, so he's been in tougher for sure. And I mean, he gets Pratt, man. So Pratt's
that would be the 6, by the way, not the 7.
Oh, is it the 6? Yeah, sorry about that. Sorry, my bad. Goliad, yeah, with getting Pratt aboard. I mean, Pratt showed yesterday why he's just. I mean, he's one of the tops in the country, and let alone around here. You know, but no matter what he rides, I always got to take a second look at it and just, I hate leaving him out of any sequence or out of any bet. He's just guy's ice cold, man. Even yesterday with Hot Rod Charlie, to have that horse that close and to run that way. Anytime Pratt's on a horse, I'm always going to be taking at least a second look at it, maybe more. So I like that horse with the drop and then off the layoff. I think it'll be a tough one in that first race.
All right, race number 1, number 6, Goliad, a contentious race. That race, really, you're going to get all of that price because there's no 2 to 5 shot like in race number 4. This is a good bet, and Pratt's back in town, and hopefully we'll get the lead early on, Chappie.
Yep. Hopefully you guys will whiff there, and then it's Iggy time. So, Ig, where we go with our $100 win bet and why?
Hey, the $100 win bet is we're going to go into race 3 and very small field in here of 5. But I was ultra impressed with my old trainer running mate Paula Gary's horse last time out, Big Mama Sue. There wasn't any true pace in the race, and she was last early on and angled out and kind of won in hand like she really wanted to route and grass both, because had tried routing on dirt, tried sprinting on grass. The sprint grass races were good. They were against tougher, but I thought that this was such a leap forward the way that she won. I mean, she really did win in hand, and it looked like she could have gone on. It's get another 1/8 of a mile today. The big issue is that there's no pace in there, but again, Juan Hernandez, like Flavian, is one of those guys that's just riding at the top of his game right now. I think being drawn outside, he'll be able to pick a position even if they're not going too quick. And I see almost a replay of what happened last time. This horse running by, maybe a little bit closer, and running by him late again. So $100 to win on number 5, Big Mama Sue.
I like it. Big Mama Sue. And Georgie, if anybody knows the barn of Paul Aguirre, that would be our man, Iggy Puglisi.
No question about that. All right. We're getting, look, people are watching us from Venezuela. Mauro, thanks for watching us. Gracias por estar mirando desde Venezuela. We got Mauro, and he says he's looking for some good information.
Sábado Domingo. Mauro.
All right, we got Exacta to play with here, Gavin. You got $100 to play with the Exacta. Where are you going with it?
I'm going race 7. I'm keying the 1 on top of What Makes Sammy Run. I like that horse's last race. Closed from back in the pack into a pace that was a little softer than I think he's going to get today. I think it's going to get a good pace. It'll have a good, a lot of speed up there to run at. And again, I mean, it's getting Pratt aboard. So, I mean, I'm sure he'll time that race right. I think he's just going to have that horse in the right spot. And then that was another horse I watched that replay last night. I almost went with Iggy's pick, Big Mama Sue. I was just watching those 2 replays. I was going back and forth, watching them again. So I went with What Makes Sammy Run on top, and I'm going to have the 3, Missy P, and the 4, Mohawk King underneath. Missy P ran 2 good races and only losses to Astute. The only thing is I think there's going to be some speed up front, and I think it's going to be tough to just get it, out there on its own. Plus, it's the first time grass for it. So, and Mohawk King was in the last race with What Makes Sammy Run. Was up front, got past, and it's got Hernandez aboard, and I think Hernandez will be strong on that. I mean, he's a solid finisher. He never really lets his horses get too far out of it. He's right up there with Pratt. He's one of the best. So, I got the 1 and then one keyed with the 3 and the 4.
All right, 1 with the 3-4. Certainly looked impressive closing last time out. Pratt, all he does is win on the grass. Missy P looked impressive on debut, ran a 2 on the sheets. And then her stablemate beat her. She's a filly against boys, but I think she's going to do really well. And Mohawk King, second time in the country, should do well. Chappie?
Very interesting in that race, George. We talked about that last night. Missy P, super talented. The breeding's there. The question is the turf. And the replay, like Gavin said, was very impressive on the one horse with Pratt aboard. So, all right, Igster, where are we going with our exact and why, buddy?
Exact box. We went to the 8th race. This is an optional claiming 50. These sprints are usually just tough as nails. It's going 3/4 of a mile, and I came up. I liked a new face last time, Albizoo, the outside horse. This Ridgeline, this 3-year-old, drew close to the outside last time, and I expect somewhat of the same trip. Ultra impressive, and the gallop out was monstrous. Opened up like another 100 yards on the rest of the field. I think being drawn there, the horse that was second also came back to win. I think that horse is going to get a great trip. And Box of Chocolates coming in from Oaklawn Park. That replay was also impressive. The horse loomed up. Both of them have to make up a little bit of ground, which I don't love in exactas. I'd rather have a speed horse and somebody to try and close them down. These two look like they both are going to come from a little bit off of it, but I don't love any of the speed horses in there. So I'm going to do a $50 exacta box of chocolates to Albizoo, 4-7, and hope for the bigger price.
I like it. Albizoo obviously ran big and galloped out huge like George and I talked about. Box of Chocolates always right there, Pratt up, but loves to finish second. Only 1 for 23 lifetime. So I like that exacta box there, Georgie.
Box of chocolates, but I think you're going to find that the box of chocolates is probably going to run second. That's what he does. He won. He's 0 for 23, I think, right?
1 for 23 lifetime.
Yeah, 1 for 23. So I mean, I think he won his second race of his life. So he hasn't run one since then. A lot of seconds. All right. Gavin, I'm going to be calling you next week because Iggy's going to run second today. He's going to be just like a box of chocolates. And so hopefully you got a daily double to put him away, to just kind of icing on the cake, just in case, the gravy. Give me the gravy here with the daily double.
So my daily double, I'm going to race 6. I got the Smooth Like Butter.
Smooth Like Butter.
The one horse, again, common thread here. It's got Pratt. Its last 2 dirt races were the best efforts. It just kind of drew a line to the turf race. And then I look at the miles, its best distance. I think Smooth Like Butter, if you look at its mile races on dirt, it's, he's a tough customer. So I think he's going to be up there. And I also included the 3 in that race, Tis Wonderfully. It's one of his last 2 races, pretty fairly easy. I think you can get the lead. You got Mark Glad off the claim. So, and I'm not super sold on the Ultimate High, who I think is going to be the favorite in that race. I don't like to take short prices on horses doing something for the first time. So, he's trying to do it for the first time, or she's trying to do it for the first time. I think, she'll be the favorite in that race, but I'm not too sold on that. I like Smooth Like Butter and Tis Wonderfully. And then I'm keen the one horse in the 7th race, What Makes Sammy Run, the horse that's also in my exacta. Just a solid closing effort in that last race. I think it could really repeat the way it ran last time, honestly. I think it's going to get a better pace to run at. So going with the 1-3 with the 1 from race 6 to 7.
Sounds good. Chappie, I got to say I'm a little bit I'm in a conundrum here because I'm rooting for my man Gavin. I like my man Gavin. I want to win this really bad.
I know what you're going to say.
But in my pick 6, I singled Missy P. So I'm going to be – I don't know what to root for in that race because I did single Missy P in my pick 6. And
Gavin, I'm using your horse for what it's worth. I don't know if that means anything, but
all right,
I knew George was singling Missy P, so I didn't know if he was going to say that out loud or not. All right, Iggy, where are we going there, buddy? Daily double time.
For the daily double, now we're going to see that all 3 of us are going to land on George here because my daily double was in race 7, and I'm singling the one horse, What Makes Sammy Run. It was just too impressive, man. I bet that horse. First time out here, and he had C+ works on what I looked at, and I'm like, oh, I watched that thing bully through some horses. And I saw the same thing happen here the other day, and I'm like, I'm gonna have to take the short price. It just, I understand the Missy P angle, and both of those numbers that horse ran are fast. If the horse transitions over to turf, but the one horse, just little bull, he's really charged through the pack. So I'm singling the one horse in the 7th race to the same 2 horses that I have the exacta box in the 8th, the 4 box of chocolates, and the 7 Albie Zoo. So 3 of us, maybe 4 of us, will be cheering for the same horse in the 7th race. I'm not sure if George is on board with the rest of us, but we'll be cheering for the one horse.
This is getting interesting. Now George is against all 3 of us.
Yeah. All right, so now the tiebreaker race is going to be the 9th race, which is going to be key because you're all going to lose. You're going to lose all your bets. You guys are going to be at 0. So this is a very important race. Missy P is going to win.
He's turned on you, Gavin. He's turned on everybody. He wants to win himself.
He wants to lose. That phone that keeps ringing.
That race, he says we're missing everything.
Everything. He doesn't even care.
That phone that keeps ringing, it's the future. And it says you guys need the tiebreaker desperately.
By the way, the last time Box of Chocolates won was when Forrest Gump was released.
Yeah.
All right, so 9th race, the tiebreaker. Who's got the spinning wheel of fate? There it is.
Here you go, Iggy.
Let's see who gets first pick.
George.
Yes,
Georgie.
Gavin. This is a very important because you're going to be, you're going to lose. So you need to win this tiebreaker. Here we go. Who are you picking?
I hate to do this to you, Iggy, because I know you like the horse, but Cassie Bell was my pick, and right when they announced that as the tiebreaker, that was right what I was going for. So I'm going to take Cassie Bell. It's had some pretty good races, and that's my tiebreaker.
Okay.
Iggy tried to scream out 7 times early in the thing who he had as a tiebreaker, but he couldn't hear us. So because he's back in 1968.
All I heard was tiebreaker. I'm like, okay. No. It doesn't
I promise you, I was going with it anyways. So
absolutely, Gavin, please. Let me. How about we take? How about a long shot? Del Mar Drama. That horse has been training good forever, so I'm going to take a shot that it's going to run well routing today. We're not getting that far. We're hitting everything. Different prices.
George is turned against everybody because he wants to win money in the Pick 6.
You better double up on that, Georgie. Just use 2 spots in there.
No, I'm a single.
Twice as much.
I'm a single guy. I put all my eggs in a basket, and if he wins, he wins. If she doesn't, then she's gonna beat the boys, man.
Gino and I tried to talk him out of this last night, and it didn't work. So don't worry about it.
I already put my ticket in.
I'm hoping a lot of people are thinking like you, George, because I'm hoping we get a better price on our one. So
look, all you got, the one's got so much weight on him. He's got like way too much weight. Look at you.
Yeah.
George, he's getting sick of himself just listening to all of our picks. All right, are we?
It's a filly.
It's a filly against the boys. Yeah. Yes, he's the only filly against the boys. All right, that's the show. One of you 2 guys will be back next week. Let's see which one it is. I guess the tiebreaker is going to be key. Chappie, any last words?
Gavin is relying on Flavian Pratt, and Iggy is going. I think Iggy has a tennis match against Bobby Riggs in like a half hour.
Yes, that's right.
1968.
Vilas. I'm from Argentina. It'll be Vilas.
Thanks, guys.
Right.
We appreciate it.
Thank you. Good night. Good luck today.
Good luck, guys.